Welcome to the very first episode of The Art of Cinema. This is a channel dedicated to appreciation of extremely good films. No trolls, no demeaning comments. Every week we'll be examining a masterpiece, understand the subtext, and probably even appreciate the best moments. When you look at Mona Lisa or any painting, you don't do it for entertainment. You do it to appreciate the thought process, creativity, and the art itself. For me, cinema is a bunch of moving paintings that I appreciate and not just watch. Today, let us see in detail the marvel of the film Joker, pun intended. If you didn't know that this film runs around a place called Gotham, you'd believe it if I told you that this was New York. It's like just any casual place, relatable with jerks and the bullied. It's a conscious effort to make Gotham look like any other normal city, unlike the Dark Knight series. If I show you this shot, you know it is Gotham City right away, but this could be anywhere. At this point, Arthur doesn't want to kill anybody. He's not dark. He's not an agent of chaos yet. So is Gotham. It's just another city with people being awful. The first thought that comes out of Arthur's mind in the movie
Is it just me? Or is it getting crazier out there?
notice how the entire film follows that very thought. It gets crazier by time. The entire life of Arthur is a struggle. You're shown this climbing of huge stairs, but not getting down, not until the end. Why? Why did the filmmakers have to choose this particular action? Why couldn't his action here be a downwalk? This language of cinema is what is applaudable. Every step Arthur takes is a burden. You literally see his back hunched. And what better way to convey that than this long stairs? Funny how the same locale is used to show Arthur's state of joy in the latter part of the film. Let me stop you right there. If you see this dream sequence of meeting with Murray Franklin, he casts not one but two shadows. Filmmakers make it a point to avoid shadows as much as possible. Any cinematographer or a gaffer with their right mind would say, heck no, to two key lights casting two big ass shadows. But it's a conscious choice here to have these two. It's foreshadowing, both literally and metaphorically,
Balance restored!
that this guy is a two-face. He shows to the world that he is this amazing, funny, and likable person, but he's just as awful at the core. Notice how the double shadow disappears once Arthur comes down to meet Murray. Unlike him, Arthur is a straightforward, genuine guy, even though he's a killer. Speaking in terms of screen space, why is this scene so important? Why a fragment of Arthur's imagination plays a major role in this film? Close your eyes and think how you see yourself. Who is that one person that you idealize so much that just a pat from them would make your whole world? Now, imagine if that same person humiliates you. You'd be shattered. In the world of Arthur, Murray wants to give up the entire show to have a son like him. But in the real world, he's just as awful as every other person he's met on the street.
You're awful, Murray.
It is the dearest ones that break us, not strangers, not enemies. These people that we trust in so much, they are the ones that break us. If you ask me, without this scene, the entire film doesn't make much sense. Observe how the curtain colors of Murray's show are the exact same colors Joker has on him as he gets introduced to the world as the Joker. You could say he's reborn as he walks out of those curtains. Now, many of my friends said, what's there in Joker? It's things like these shitheads that make this film a masterpiece of art. Now, one thing I hated about this film though is that just to whitewash Joker as an anti-hero, Thomas Wayne is antagonized. There are speculations that he's basically a version of Ronald Reagan, the 40th president, who withdrew federal support for mental health of the poor. Coincidentally, the movie happens in 1981. To back this, if you don't know, this is how music was played in theaters back then through a live orchestra. Anyway, political statements aside, Thomas Wayne was never a bad person in the comics. In fact, he was the kind doctor and a philanthropist who taught Bruce charity and manners. The empathy for Joker would have still been all the same even if Thomas wasn't villainized. Randall makes a shitty joke on Gary's physical height. Joker laughs not because of his condition, but because he has to keep up appearances. You can see how much he hates it by the way he stops laughing. Phrases like these that came to Arthur are clearly stuck with him.
This building is so awful, isn't it?
How the fuck do I know? Why doesn't anybody do anything?
They are what make him the agent of chaos, the Joker. How someone could have a smile on their face yet express so much grief is beyond my imagination. 100 to the actor. I went in as a Batman fan and came out a fan of Joaquin Phoenix. Anyway, so these are Arthur's notes when he's learning from a stand-up comedian. Work the crowd, dress nice but casual, make observations about audience, slick hair, question mark, question mark, question mark, eye contact, always make funny observations, sexy jokes always funny. His spellings and handwritings are worse than a third grader, yet better than mine. If you understand the psychology of Arthur, these notes are semi-functional, semi-intelligent, semi-sensible. Joker is neither stupid nor a genius, in a sense that all these things depend on the perspective of the viewer. Is he a genius who writes funny, or is he a dad who accidentally got things right? 50 seconds later, you see this notes. Why did the old man like having insomnia? Because he didn't have to sleep with his wife. That's... Why are people always confused? Because they don't make any sense. Get it? Because it sounds like sense. Anyway, what did the lazy man say to the high-strung straitjacket? Loosen up a little. Now, these are genuinely funny, taffy jokes. He's not a total loser with bad jokes in his hand. But look at this line at the end. The worst part about having a mental illness is people expect you to behave as if you don't. This comes out of his personal experience trying to hold his involuntary laughter in public. Had this woman shown some empathy to his condition, maybe he wouldn't have written this down. It's a sad joke on himself that only he can laugh at. That's beautiful. This note is very important in the film. I left the stores with 25 cents in my pocket. I wondered what I could buy with it. When I noticed that there was an ambulance and the paramedics were standing over the homeless man, I walked over as I was interested in what happened to him. As I got near them, I heard them say, "What a way to go on the sidewalk." What? Can you imagine that? Dead on the sidewalk with people stepping over you? Maybe he's happier, but I don't want to die with people just stepping over me. I want people to see me. I just hope my death makes more sense than my life. Notice that in a note before he writes sense as a pun for sense. And here see that he strikes off that spelling sense and writes sense instead. He meant to write, I just hope my death makes more sense than my life. But to people, only money is what makes sense. So he writes, I just hope my death makes more sense than my life. If this isn't the most brilliant thing ever, I don't know what is. It takes a lot for Arthur to take out the gun and shoot down 3 Wall Street guys that everybody is bothered about. He was bullied for marketing with a signboard. He has a very sick mother who gets no support from anyone. He lost his favorite job. His so-called friend Randall blames him about buying a gun. On and on and on, agony of about 30 minutes. What happens from there on is history. Joker belongs to a superhero film franchise, but this is the closest film to reality of our society.
If it was me dying on the sidewalk, you'd walk right over me.
People were awful when they wouldn't think twice before emptying racks of a store during a pandemic. Awful when the police kill a person for being differently colored. Awful when people have to protest, risking their lives because otherwise it would be taken for granted. Awful because no matter how many angels showered blessings, there are people who never get wings. Awful because a puppy in a store is cuter than an abandoned one on the streets. Awful because they step over the homeless in a hurry to reach back homes. Awful because YouTube is filled with videos humiliating random strangers. Awful because people of a religion humiliate beliefs otherwise. Awful because the LGBT people still need to conduct rallies to show they are people too. Awful because you could get killed for being colored, belonging to different faiths, sexuality, or even poverty. Awful because justice is served faster to the rich and powerful than to poor and powerless. What do you get when this chaos rises to a level that just one of these victims turns insane?
I'll tell you what you get. Call the police. Get what you fucking deserve.
See that this difference in laughs, the very first and the very last, are exactly in contrast of emotions. Finally, look at how in a suppressive world, Arthur has a dull journey. But in the chaos that he's created, he has a genuine laugh. The transition from Arthur to the Joker is complete as Gotham gets crazier. It isn't like any other city anymore. It is now Gotham that needs a hero. Joker grows to become more chaotic and true to the line, why does anyone do anything? While Bruce grows to bring back a better time where not everyone is as awful as Joker perceives them to be. I haven't spoken of half the things that this film has to offer, a true masterpiece. If you like the level of detailing in this video, please consider subscribing, share it around and let me know in the comments what you think, or if you noticed any amazing things in the movie that I did not get, please mention it. Forget not to leave a thumbs up. Next week I'll be coming up with another amazing film. If you could recommend any, that would be considered too. Thank you for watching.